Welcome back to Second Bites with Sarah. Today is the day that I show you my sage sausage gravy recipe. For starters, I'm gonna go on a slight rant. I can't order sausage gravy out and about in the wild anymore. This has ruined it. So, move forward with caution. My first issue with most sausage gravies is the amount of sausage per capita ratio to gravy. I want every bite to have sausage in it, or I'm annoyed. If it says sausage gravy, sausage needs to be a prominent ingredient. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. The recipe I'm about to show you should serve about 4 people, and we're gonna start with 2 pounds of breakfast sausage. I really enjoy mixing 2 kinds. So if you're a spicy girly, get spicy sausage. If you just want regular, get regular, but I highly recommend one of them being sage sausage. If you are unfamiliar with sage, it is a lovely sort of fall, holiday feel to it, I think. And this is so good for a crowd, and this is so good for a slow morning, and this is good if you've had guests over, right? For a holiday, make them this. 2 pounds of sausage going into a skillet. There are 2 things that are gonna set your gravy apart from a flavor standpoint. The first thing is black pepper. Black pepper and sausage are besties. They've been besties for thousands of years. I go pretty heavy on the black pepper. If black pepper is a little too spicy for you, hi mom, I know it's too spicy for you. Just back off on it or skip it, but I will say that heat from black pepper is iconic in gravy. So I go pretty heavy on the black pepper. That's my first trick, okay? If you don't have a tool that looks something like this, worth investing if you're gonna be making gravy a lot. This is my best friend when it comes to gravy. Medium to high heat, and you are going to brown your sausage and crumble it. Next ingredient, friends, I'm gonna prep while my sausage is browning, and that is fresh sage leaves. You can find them with all the other herbs at the grocery store, and you just need 8 sort of decent ones. These are gonna be our garnish, and this is the second thing that is gonna push your gravy past everyone else's. We're gonna get real bougie with these sage leaves. Just pick an 8 off, no stems, please. All right, favorite sausage is browned. Just make sure there's no pink, and crumble-wise to your liking. I like a little bit of a mixture. I like some bigger chunks and some smaller chunks, and I like a little bit of caramelization on some of the pieces. It adds a lot to the flavor. So next step is a cheat. We do not need to drain this gravy. We want the fat in there for flavor. So we are just going to take all-purpose flour. We're gonna put it straight in the skillet, lower the heat down to medium, and we just want no grease present. Keep adding small amounts of flour, maybe a tablespoon at a time, until you see no grease in that pan and your sausage crumbles are lightly coated in flour. All right, favorites, heat has been lowered because we are done cooking. We are just absorbing grease at this point. Add it slowly though. Add it slowly so that you don't get too much flour in there and it starts to just taste like flour. That is not the gravy we want. Flour has done its job. I see no grease. I also don't see large chunks of flour. You don't want that either. Then we are going to incrementally add milk. You want fat here, friends. Don't use skim. Use at least 2% or up, okay? You want the fat here. We're gonna add this maybe a half a cup to a cup at a time, and you're just gonna watch it thicken, and that's it. At first, you're not gonna think anything's happening. You're gonna be like, that looks like some weak ass gravy. But if you allow it some time, the milk will start to thicken naturally with the flour that we've already put in, and you will start to see this gravy form. Essentially, add milk slowly until you are at the consistency you want. If you remember my rant at the beginning, I really want a thick gravy that has lots of sausage. I don't want anyone to take a bite that doesn't have sausage in it. Pro tip, the sausage, once you've browned it, comes together in less than 10 minutes. So have your biscuits waiting on deck. Either they're in the oven or they're already ready. This does not take long. Altogether, I put about 4 cups of milk in. Just as a heads up and reminder, this serves about 4 people. Keep some milk back because as this continues to stay warm, hopefully not cook much more, but stay warm as you're getting your dishes ready, grabbing your biscuits, and getting your sage leaves ready, you can just add splashes of milk to thin it. As this sits, it's gonna get thick and it's gonna do that fast. So keep a little milk back, splash, 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 to keep thinning it out until you're actually ready to serve it. We talked about black pepper and how that is most likely something that is gonna push your gravy over the edge. The second thing is this garnish I'm about to show you how to do. So you're gonna take 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter, get it in a skillet, medium to low heat, get it melted. When your butter starts talking, AKA sizzling and bubbling, you're going to take your sage leaves and we're gonna fry these suckers. Give them space in the pan, don't throw them all in. You're gonna wanna place them in, and as soon as they start getting crispy, we're gonna pull them off onto some paper towels. This will happen fast. Be ready, be on your toes. They'll start to curl up a little bit on the edges, and that's a good time to flip them, just to make sure they're getting cooked evenly. We're definitely not here to burn butter, and we're definitely not here to burn sage leaves. So careful with your heat. We're on medium-low. Once you get those bubbles and frothiness happening, be real careful with your heat, friends. You can tell they're starting to crisp up because they will actually start to turn a little bit darker green than what they started, and they'll start to kind of stand up on their own. You can see these edges starting to curl up, and that means it's happening. Do not walk away from these. I will repeat this, do not walk away from these. I can tell when they're done because they are fragile as hell. Be very careful pulling them out because they are now crispy and they can break really easily. If they're starting to turn brown, they've probably gone just a hair longer than we wanted, but they're still okay. Go ahead and pull them. Don't let them get too brown though. We're just looking for a dark green, not a brown necessarily. They probably take a minute or 2, tops, each. Gravy's done, it's beautiful. It's at the consistency I want. Y'all wanna see? That's what I wanted. And I've got these beautiful sage leaves, which I'll show you how to make this just look bougie as hell in a second. Biscuits of choice. Also, go ahead and give me a comment on this video if you wanna see some biscuit tricks in the future. Just say, hey Sarah, biscuit tricks. And then I'll know that's what you guys wanna see. But go ahead and get biscuit of choice ready. This is also really good on toast. I've seen this turned into casseroles as well, which is also super fun. But I'm gonna kind of layer up my biscuits in this gorgeous pile, and then I'm gonna layer gorgeous sage gravy right over the top. And I am now rivaling all the brunch restaurants in Chicago. I usually let my friends and family serve themselves on this one because I don't like to pretend to know who needs what ratio of biscuit to gravy in their life. Everyone's a little bit different. Some people like to rip their biscuits up. Some people like them whole. Some people want a knife. Once you get a gorgeous pile of gravy on top of your biscuits, friends, you can take 2 sage leaves because we fried 8 and this is 4 servings, so you get at least 2 per serving. And we're going to oh so daintily place them right on top. That is the thing that is going to push your presentation as well as your taste way over the line. Now, just because I think it's smart to let people know visually what they're about to get into when they take that first bite and that second bite, I'm gonna do a little bit more pepper on top just so everyone's super clear that A, this is a sage gravy, as well as it's super peppery. I'm pretty sure you could charge whatever the flying fuck you wanted for this in a restaurant, not only from a presentation standpoint, but because you will not forget this gravy. This gravy's claim to fame is, it's so good, it'll put you back in bed. Heat from the black pepper. Creaminess, savoriness. Nice thing is you get some chew from the biscuit, right? And some softness. Of course, gravy has its own texture. But, darlings, break up that sage leaf And then you get a whole nother texture, a little crispiness, as well as that full sage flavor. Because if we're gonna call it sage gravy, we better taste sage. I've done it again. Also, you're welcome for sharing my favorite recipe with y'all. Make it soon.
Hey favorites, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Second Bites with Sara.